Dawn. And as the first rays of dawn began to dawn, the Aussie bush comes alive. Brightly coloured parrots, the magnificent brown sparrow, and the majestic bull ant. But the animals weren't the only things waking up. Just because you're out in the bush doesn't mean you can't enjoy some of the creature comforts. What we got here is a bush shower. Now I've filled it up with warm water. It's simply just a matter of turning that and I get a beautiful warm shower. Okay, just drop the towel and we're ready to go. But enough of the creature comforts. It was time for this Coight to get moving. On the off chance you can't get through to the Royal Flying Doctor Service, you can still let someone know your location. In a survival situation, it's good to know how to make a signal fire. Put yourself on top of a hill, just like this one, make a small fire, and get yourself some green leaves like these, because they're good for making smoke. Then get yourself something like a lid, like a esky lid like this one. Pop the leaves on there. And we're going to use the international signal of SOS, which is 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. Take your lid, pop it over there like that. So this will be dot. From here on, survival is in your hands. Get it wrong and you could die. Step 3 is one of the most important of all. You know, in my 15 years of outback experience, I've learned some pretty important tips, and probably the most important is water. I never go into the outback without a decent supply of water. And the general rule for how much you'll need is 3 litres per day, per person, per man, per degree, over 25 degrees Celsius, per kilometre if walking on foot. In the winter months, dividing it by 2, plus another litre at the end. But if you don't have water, believe it or not, you can create some. Okay, what I've done here is an old bushies trick. I've dug a hole, placed some foliage in it and some plastic over the top. What's going to happen, the foliage will heat up and the water will be drawn out of that. It'll condensate on the plastic and run down into the billy that I will place underneath here, like there you go. So just a matter of having that plastic nice and taut, and you'll have some water before you know it. There's no doubt in this climate water is important, but so too is food. The sun sure is hot. I just found these on the ground over there. I'll hop down here in the shade. Now, if you're thinking to yourself bush tucker, you'd be wrong. These are bush poison. They're called acacia nuts, and if you eat one of these, you'll get very, very sick indeed. That's the funny thing about the outback. You make one mistake and you can be in real trouble. Time to search for some bush tucker. Funny, it's not until you actually get out on foot that you realise what a vast place the centre of Australia really is. Endless plains stretching as far as the eye can see. And with binoculars, even further. But I wasn't the only one out here. Above, a magnificent wedge-tailed eagle soared majestically, while down below some magnificent ants toiled tirelessly. One animal that survives very well in the outback is the rabbit. Now, he may be a problem for the farmers, but he could save you in a survival situation. If you haven't got a rabbit trap, what you might want to try is one of these. I always carry some twine with me. What you do is you just make it into a bit of a noose, and you place that over the rabbit hole. Rabbit comes out and gets caught in the noose. Of course, you'll still need to secure that in. Just bang it in with the hammer. Oh. And there you have it. Oh. Well, we've got our food and water. Time to get back to camp. Bit of an old bushies trick. I've put all my food into a bag and I'm tying it up on a tree and pulling it up so during the night the dingoes won't get it. That's nice and safe and get it off. Oh, Aussie adventures, time to hit the road. Australia has two types of crocs, saltwater or salties, and freshwater or freshwater. Freshwater crocs will not normally attack humans, but this one was sick, possibly wounded, and therefore potentially dangerous. It was tricky, tense, dangerous work, but someone had to do it. Just waiting. She probably knows I'm here. What I'm going to do, grab by the tail and get her behind the neck as quick as possible. Because she knows I've got her, she'll swing around and take a lump out of me. I'll tell you what, that can hurt. She's about 5 foot, but she's going to be real strong underwater. Remember, I'm in her territory. She's not in mine. She's the boss. So I've got to move very quietly, very easily. And there she brushes against me. Just got to wait. Just move back. I'll draw her into the shore a little bit. Draw her back. Draw her back. I'll just see if I can. There she goes. Time to hit the road.
You got that makeup remover?
We needed to find a campsite and set up camp before nightfall. And it wasn't long before I spotted the perfect spot. It's funny, we'd only been away for half a day, but already these 3 kids were beginning to work as a team. While their city friends back home were probably out stealing hubcaps from cars and trading in illicit non-prescription drugs, these lucky youngsters were learning the basics of bushcraft basics. Shelter, hygiene, and of course, fire.
That's good.
The kids really enjoyed their first camping experience and were keen to learn.
Kindling, that's the smaller wood underneath, and our medium-sized wood on top. So then it's just a matter of getting a lighter and lighting up one of the leaves. Actually, that's a bit wet. Harley, just get some paper from my bag in the car. We can't really light that, I don't think. Yeah, some people like to use fire lighters, that sort of thing. I don't, because they're toxic. You're much better off using paper or, not that one, some newspaper.
In what seemed like no time, but was probably a little longer, we had the camp set up and ready to go.
Yeah, no, you go help Haley with it.
But of course, in the bush, drama is never far away.
Oh my God!
What?
Hayley,
stand completely still. Don't do anything. Just freeze. Don't move. I'm coming. It's okay. Take it easy. Take it easy. Just stand still. Stand still. Stand still. No, it's only a stick. It's a stick. Look, it's a silly old
For a
stick.
kid from the city, it was an easy mistake to make. And even though poor Hayley may have felt a little silly, I certainly wasn't about to draw attention to it. Amazing, isn't it? Just a few days ago, these kids were lost in a world of video games, loud parties, and fast food outlets. Now they were here, miles from anywhere, enjoying a night under the stars.
Great, isn't it? Lovely fire, good company. Where would you rather be, here or in the city?
From the look on each of their faces, the answer was obvious.
Well, peace at last. Kids have gone to bed. They're all tuckered out. They've had a very big day. I'll tell you what, it's good to see those kids having such a good time.
Working with kids is all about setting boundaries. Once you lay down the rules, it's easy to get things straight.
Justin, are you smoking? Give it to me. Give it to me. You think you're a big man, do you? Think you're a big, clever man. Yeah, am I a big man, big, clever man? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'll do it again, watch. What is that?
With the kids asleep, it was time for me to enjoy a bit of bush solitude, high country style. I was feeling pretty relaxed, and there's no doubt the combination of fresh mountain air and a warm fire can be quite intoxicating.
Hungry.
This is gold country, and the place is still covered with old mine shafts and pits from days gone by. It may not look like it, but this hole in the ground could be a potential disaster situation waiting to happen.
What worries me, someone's staying in the hut, during the night gets a call of nature, wanders out and falls 50 foot straight down, and that is not pretty. we're going to have to seal this shaft to make it safe for people who want to use this area.
Luckily, I never go bush without a box of gelignite for occasions just like this. The trick is getting the blast size just right. 4 or 5 sticks should do the job. Despite having a whole crate to play with, you've got to be careful, especially with kids around. The rest of the jelly could stay safely out of harm's way back in the hut. In the old days, we used to light a fuse with a match. Now it's all radio controlled. You just send a signal to a nearby detonator and it's mission accomplished.
Go, get in the car. Just get in the car. Get in the car.
All Aussie adventures, time to hit the road.
Water. It's a valuable resource out here in the outback. So in a camping situation, we don't want to pollute this. We want to keep it nice and clean. So if you want to have a bath, go out, wet yourself down, and go up the bank about 20, 30 metres, and then lather yourself up with a bucket that you put there earlier from when you went in, before you went in, and then lather yourself up there, then wash that off up there, and then come back. No, you don't actually don't. Well, you don't come back down here because you've lathered, you've cleaned yourself up there because the bucket was already there. Then towel yourself off and you're clean and you're done. So that's how we keep the waterways clean in the outback.
I'll tell you what, when it rains in the bush, it sure does rain. Within minutes, everything was drenched. But eventually the skies cleared and it was time for this Aussie traveller to dry off.
Okay, my clothes are wet. The sun's come out, so it's a good chance to get them dried off. The reality is, you're much better off being naked than having wet clothes against your skin, because it draws the moisture and lowers your core temperature. And that could cause a very bad case of exposure. And you certainly wouldn't...
All Aussie adventures, time to hit the road.
You know, I don't like fancy gadgets or gizmos. My experience, they break down in a couple of days. The fact is, you don't have to spend a lot of money to be comfortable in the outback. I'm just making a camp chair here. Watch. So there you have it, a camp chair. Why spend 50 bucks on a piece of Chinese plastic when you can have this? Oh, there's one more thing. Cheers, I'm going to enjoy this.
When it comes to basic bushcraft, years of experience in the bush has taught me a trick or two.
Just sharpening up old Betsy Lou here. The reality is a sharp axe is a lot safer than a blunt one, because you don't have to work so hard to chop the wood, which is good news when you want to get a fire going. Okay, I think she's about sharp enough. You might want to stand back a bit.
Who needs pre-cut kindling or a chainsaw when you've got a good axe and a strong back? And years of competing in woodshop competitions around Australia has given me both. Many of these creatures are nocturnal and the best time to see them is at night, except you can't see them because it's dark. But it is still possible to trap a wild animal, and in a survival situation this knowledge could well save your life.
Yeah, this looks like a very good spot.
Time for a quick lesson in bushcraft, and for our foreign friends, school was in. Bows and arrows may not have been invented in this country, but a little Aussie ingenuity has turned them into a very valuable tool for trapping bush tucker.
Okay, that is in position. Now, what happens is the animal comes down the track here, hits that tripwire that I've got connected up around these sticks here, all right? And you can see that runs all the way down to our bow and arrow setup, which is a lethal weapon that'll kill an animal. And if you get in the way, it'll kill you too. So I'm going to check the accuracy. So please stand right back. This is a very dangerous setup. Okay, let's just see how good it works. And okay, needs to go a little bit to the left. Okay, to the that's flat. We need to take a bit of air out of that anyway. Okay. You know, people are always coming up to me asking me for advice on driving in the outback. And if I could give you one tip, it'd be leave your trailer behind. I'd like $1 for every time I have to rescue someone stuck in the middle of nowhere because of one of these. My tip is to unhook it and leave it at home. Because remember, trailer spells trouble.
Oh, shit. No doubt about it. The best way to be truly safe in this country is to travel with yours truly.
Okay, who knows what this is? It's a camp oven. Correct. But what you didn't know was that it was
Invented in 1872 by an Australian cattle drover.
Correct. Top marks to you, Tom.
None of your frozen foods on my camping safaris. This is A-grade Aussie meat, freshly slaughtered. This is no Dutch oven, but a few hot coals on the lid as well as underneath, and we'd be cooking.
Now, what meal would be complete without some veggies? What's that behind your ear, Tom? It's a potato, or spud as we like to call them. You got potatoes in Germany, Manny?
Oh ja, Kartoffeln.
Quite often.
Ah, Kartoffel.
Oh, Kartoffeln, which is German for potato. Yes.
Half an hour or so in the fire and these spuds would be ready to eat.
And to complete the meal, some bush tucker. These are wandong nuts, which are native to the area. Now, they've got a hard outer shell, which I'm going to remove, then we're going to throw them in the fire because they contain a toxin which is destroyed by fire. So you never want to eat them raw because they can be dangerous. Oh,
Schatzi, wat is denn?
meat pie. I love them. Only problem is it's cold. Here's an old trick taught to me by an old truckie mate of mine.
Take the pie and wrap it well in a bit of tin foil. Next, place the pie or whatever you want to heat up securely against the engine block of your car. Then it's just a question of shutting the oven door.
And in a couple of hours' time, I'll have a nice hot meal right in the middle of the outback. Tell you what, who needs McDonald's? Just stop for a cuppa and to fill the old girl up. It's funny, in the city, you get used to 24-hour petrol stations. But out here, not like that. That's why it's vital that you carry spare fuel. Of course, if you do run out of fuel in the middle of nowhere, it's important that you don't panic. Stay with the vehicle, get out of the sun, and drink plenty of water, which is something else you should carry plenty of. It's just a simple piece of wire hooked around, and it's just a matter of getting down and having a look underneath and finding the grass. It's not that hard to find, just hook it around and, oh yeah, there it is there. Oh, very nasty indeed. Have a look at that. Very dry, would start a fire very, very easily. You want to take your time and make sure that you get all of it out because you don't want to be in the middle of nowhere and in trouble. What you've got here is a whole lot of water. The reality is, if you're heading out in the outback, you're going to need all of this and a whole lot more.
Luckily for Forbes and Montgomery, they did eventually find water in the form of the mighty McAllister River.
You know, there's nothing I enjoy more than pulling into camp and washing off the dust. The problem is you don't get too many bathrooms out here. That's why I always carry one of these. It's an auto shower. Plugs into your cigarette lighter, runs through the motor, and supplies a steady stream of warm water through that shower rose there. A little bit of luxury out here in the outback. So excuse me. Hey! Come on, do something! Stop! Aiden's got a fish hook through his finger, and I'm a little bit worried about this because it can become septic and therefore infected. And we are a long way from any hospital, so we're going to have to treat this ourselves. Now, these are barbed, so there's no use trying to just pull them out. There is a technique. Press down, twist and pull. It'll only hurt for a second and you may not want to see this. Okay, here we go. And, ow!
That really hurt.
Sorry.
Should it be bleeding that much?
It is bleeding a bit, isn't it? Have a look at this. It's an absolute beauty. It's a mud crab. Find them all throughout the rivers and mangroves in northern Australia. Not that hard to catch either, but you've got to watch those nippers. They're very strong and can break the bone in your finger. Just want to get a fair old price in the restaurants down south, but we're going to let him go. Where you go, fella? What a lot of people don't realise is that this whole area is full of bush tucker. Not only mud crabs, but oysters, prawns, and of course, fish. So in a survival situation, it's just a matter of keeping your eyes open, and if you see something edible, grab it.
You want to Hang on. He doesn't want to let go, mate. I don't think he's going to let go.
Time to hit the road.